if you think about leaders that are going to be in this new normal where you've got folks that are, and maybe it's sales team, and and they're located in different regions and they're working virtually. How do we ensure that we solve for that?
I think there's a couple things, Brandon, that all kind of come together. One is communication. We right now are absolutely burying everybody in communication. I've got to check my messages on Teams. I've got to go to Slack. I've got to go to Outlook. I've got to go to my WhatsApp. I've got to go to my text message. I got to check my voicemail. Time out, everybody. Time out. Let's figure out a portal or two we're going to use to communicate. I can't spend all day chasing where I need to find my messages. It's completely inefficient. And the same thing is true, Brandon, about meetings. We've got way too many meetings. There's been study after study after study after study showing that there's billions of dollars lost every year by companies around the world. And I put this in my book, having too many meetings, right? And the other thing that's happening is now I can schedule, if I'm your boss or you're my boss, you can schedule me on Zoom calls from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Nobody's getting a break. Nobody's building into the schedule a break. No Zoom calls between 12 and 2, Eastern time or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's personal time, it's quiet time, it's exercise time, it's break time, it's take a mental break time. But I can't tell you, and I know you know as well as I do, how many times you're talking to somebody and they're like, we're in the middle of a conversation. I got to go. I got another Zoom. My Zoom starts in 2 minutes. I got to go. It's so many things. I feel, Brandon, never get to conclusion because we're jumping from one Zoom to another. Take a time out, right? I mean, in the old days, meetings would run late, right? How many times you stood outside a conference room waiting for the 8 o'clock meeting to end so you could start your 10 o'clock meeting, right? Yeah. We didn't just stop because of an artificial, calendar or clock or something. We tried to get things to conclusion. And I think part of what's happening is we're racing around and chasing, from meeting to meeting, and a lot of things aren't getting done. So I think all these things are really important. And there's ways to also get feedback, right? From my coworkers, from my staff, from the people I'm working with, the team members. Quick pulse survey. If Wetrich is working 70 hours a week and I'm, spending 30 hours a week chasing down stuff I shouldn't be chasing or wasting company resources, there's ways, techniques, and pulse surveys, feedback from my team to maybe help identify that a little bit.
I love that. So
yeah.
I think everything you said in that last kind of moment there, we could all put in the category of noise. So much noise that we're frankly creating. It's noise we're creating. Hey, Jim, I'm going to reach out to you. I'm going to send you a Teams message. No, I'm going to text you. No, I'll send you an email. I'm probably going to leave you a voicemail too. And I might even send you a certified letter. I'm not quite sure. It's possible. So, and then we all have our preferences, right? I know if someone sends me an email, that's my go-to. I'm going to respond quickly because I can loop in my assistant. If you send me a text, it's going to be a little longer delay. You send me a voicemail, I don't know when I'm going to have time to answer that because I'm booked so solid, because that goes to the second one. I've got all the meetings that are back to back, right? So it becomes an interesting thing. It's all about kind of how do we put in more focus and boundaries.
Welding together practical insights and powerful conversations to forge world-class leaders. This is the Leadership Foundry Podcast.